What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode number 31 now of the Leeds United career mode. Here we are in the Premier League. We left last episode off after drawing that game against Watford. Very disappointing there that we only managed to pick up a point from that one. In terms of a game that I would have been looking at, trying to pick up 3 points, that was the best way or best possible start we could have had a game against Watford. I was looking at that thinking that we should have possibly won the game. We didn't manage to win the game, and that means that now going into this one against Manchester United, we are sat only on 1 point after a single game in the Premier League, which isn't to any, we can't really turn our noses up at that. That's a very good point, I have to say, against a team like Watford, but at the same time, we're going to have to pick up as many wins as possible because I'm going to be thinking that we're going to be struggling this season in the Premier League, and that was one of the games that I did think we would be able to win, that one against Watford, but we didn't manage to do that there. They gave us a good run for our money, and I was looking at this Manchester United game and I was thinking to myself, you know what, if we play the way that I think we're going to play in this one, hopefully we'll come away with another point here. We're at Old Trafford for this one, so I was hoping that we come away with yet another point. If we did manage to come away with a point, I would have been a happy man out of this game, but a win would be even better in this one. It's pretty much our strongest possible lineup going into this. You're going to be seeing it in just a second on your screen. But coming to Old Trafford here with Leeds United for the first time being back in the Premier League felt a very good way to start a Premier League season off. So, they've had a bit of a rivalry in the past, Manchester United and Leeds United. So, coming to Old Trafford here with the fact that we're only 2 games into it, the Premier League season. Now this is the second game. To come here and be able to play Manchester United so soon into the season made me a very happy man, and I was looking very, very confident in this one. I have to say, they named Paul Pogba, Ibrahimovic, Rooney. They named a number of big players on the bench for this one. I was thinking, what the bloody hell are Manchester United doing here? They're going to take me this lightly and say that we're not good enough to beat them, even if they don't have their best players out. On the other hand of that, though, we named our possible strongest lineup that we could. So they are naming a bit of a weaker side today, whereas we've named the best side that we possibly can in terms of our Leeds United side here. It's basically our starting 11 that we've named against that Wolves side. I do believe we didn't, Watford side, sorry. We didn't make a change, I don't think, into this one. I was feeling better about this one because I was thinking last episode we had a couple of opportunities to take the full 3 points away from Watford. We didn't manage to do it there. I have said that I think we're going to struggle for goals this season, but I'm hoping, if you saw one of the comments that I left on an older video here, in career mode, I think it was someone left me a comment. I can't quite remember who it was. I've basically replied to a lot of comments, so apologies for that one, but he's basically said to sign a striker, and I did genuinely believe that what he was saying was true about us going to be struggling to score goals this year, but I'm sort of hoping Joe Green will step up in the mark and basically be our goal talisman for this year until we can get ourselves a out-and-out goal scorer. 9 minutes into the game, Joel Green created a chance for himself after it came back off of Kamaru. The shot, though, from Green was initially blocked in the hands of David De Gea in the end as he made the save. Cross whipped in, 10 minutes into the game, we head the ball back. I tried to get it back across the face goal, can't quite manage it as Manchester United defender. I think it was Daley Blind in the end, sent that out for our throwing. 11 minutes in, though, we throw the ball out wide here to Di Siglio, who gives it inside to Iwobi. Iwobi goes once more inside to Augusto. Augusto gives it back inside to Kamaru. Kamaru all the way back to Pablo Hernandez, who tried to wait some space for himself, but he was closed down very quickly. He managed to get the ball out to Joel Green in the end. His strike, though, is well saved by David De Gea. And 25 minutes into the game, as Timothy Fonsu-Mensah on the day was absolutely brilliant for Manchester United. Gave it into Juan Mata, gave it to Griezmann, and yeah, you're going to be guessing. This is going to be so frustrating this season if we can see goals through this. I cannot stress enough how annoyed I am getting at the fact that you give away penalties so easily in the area if you press circle the slightest little bit and you're not in a good position to win the ball as Griezmann goes down there. And rightfully so, it's a penalty kick. If you'd watched it from another angle, you would have seen it was a penalty kick because I did actually press the tackle. But it's going to be so frustrating at the fact if that's going to be happening a number of times this season. We need all the luck we can get. And the fact that we're now 1-0 down at Old Trafford and honestly don't deserve to be 1-0 down at Old Trafford made me very unhappy in this game. Legendary's already difficult enough. I don't need them giving them silly penalties away for very, very soft tackles, in all honesty. So if I could try and avoid that, then great. But Iwobi should have made it 1-1 here in the 30th minute of this game as he hit the post from his effort from just on the edge of the area. Have to say, we deserved to be the ones in the lead here, but we weren't, unfortunately, as Manchester United were the ones 1-0 up going into half-time. And basically, going into half-time, they should have been 2-0 up as Griezmann gives it to Fonsu-Mensah, back into Griezmann. Griezmann into a very good position. His strike, though, comes back off of the bar, and I was very, very thankful that the fact that that didn't end up in the back of the net. Into the second half, though, 51 minutes in now as Kalash gets down the right-hand side for us, whips across into a dangerous area, thinking, please, Iwobi, get something on this. He manages to sort of get the ball in a good chance, but he couldn't quite put it in the back of the net himself. Comes to Green. Green turns inside of about 3 Manchester United players, gets his strike off, but it's high and just over the bar, unfortunately, for our young man as he tried to get us back into the game. I was so unfortunate. We did not deserve to be 1-0 down in this game. I cannot stress that enough. But things could have got even worse for us here as Zlatan Ibrahimovic came off the bench, 83 minutes in, nice bit of link-up play, but Schneiderlin, not known for his goal-scoring opportunities, obviously, or his goal-scoring ability, ends up putting their chance wide of the post. And 89 minutes in, we should have got ourselves a point out of the game as Ronaldo Vieira into Iwobi. Iwobi turns brilliant in the box, smashes his shot goalwards, goal gaping, and it came back off the bar, which, yeah, the less said about this, the better, in all honesty. I couldn't believe it when this happened, I put my head in my hands and I was like, I don't quite believe what's just happened here at Old Trafford. We've lost the game. We haven't deserved to lose the game. And there you go, the referee blew his whistle for full time. We've lost the game by a goal to nil for a stupid penalty which was given away, and it wasn't a penalty kick. You know, I did actually press circle to try and make the tackle, but I don't believe that every time you do that in this game that it's a penalty kick. But obviously the game's way of thinking is if you press tackle, mistime it, it's a penalty kick. Yet if they try and clear the ball and they go through your man to do that, it's not a penalty kick, because Griezmann got the winner in the end there. We hit the bar twice, or we hit the bar once and the post twice, both with Alex Iwobi in the end. But we were unable in the end to try and get something out of the game, and we went away empty-handed out of Manchester, which I couldn't believe at the time of playing it. Looking back on it, you know, poor finishing, I guess you could say, from our side of it, made us not come away with anything from this game. But at the same time, if you have those chances that go in the back of the net and you have that bit of luck on the day, and Iwobi finishes off those 2 opportunities, we're back in the game. So I do firmly believe there, that performance against Manchester United has shown me enough this season that I believe we can stay up in the Premier League. We just need that little bit of luck that we didn't quite catch in that game. If we can get that luck and we can try and put the ball in the back of the net eventually, I believe we'll be able to stay up this season in the Premier League, and that's what I'm going to be trying my hardest to do. If we can do it, fantastic. If we can't, I'll be so disappointed in myself. But as you can see, after 2 games in the Premier League, we're sat in 1 place above the relegation zone, which is not quite where I was expecting to be this early on the season. I was expecting to sort of be mid-table at this point, but no, we are sat 1 place above the relegation zone, which is not good to see. So we need to start picking up, points if we can. I don't want to say pick up wins, I just want to say pick up points, as I end up putting Lafont here, try and get him up a little bit and make sure that in front of goal he'll be a better goalkeeper than what he currently is at 75 overall. I think we need a sort of 80 rated minimum goalkeeper if we are serious about trying to stay up ourselves, and he probably can reach that probably by January times. I do believe he'll probably hit 80 if we do train him like we are doing here. I think I lowered Miguel to just 1 training session a week and kept Joel Green in there as well. So we've got an offer here for Stuart Dallas. Instantly accept that. He's going to be leaving the club. Like I said, I wanted to get rid of him ASAP. I didn't really want to keep him here. I don't think he's good enough for the Premier League, and I didn't really enjoy using him last season either. So we had a second game in the episode here coming up against West Ham. This time I was thinking to myself, if we can get a point here again, I know it's only West Ham and I know we're at home in this one, so I should have been chasing the win, especially when you look at how we played against Manchester United last game, with the fact that we were the miles better side in that one. I came into this one against West Ham thinking to myself, all I need is a point. If I get a point out of this, I'll be happy. Gives me another point on the board. It means we haven't lost the game yet again. So if I can get a point out of this, yeah, I'll be a happy man. I would have preferred to have the win if possible. Like I said, we should have got the win against Manchester United last game. We didn't manage it through unluckiness and the fact that Manchester United were resilient and held on to their 1-0 victory. That's what you need to do if you want to be champions. You want to have to beat the poor sides or the lesser ability sides like we are, for example. If Manchester United are going to be champions this season, they're going to have to try and beat us, or beat sides like us in scrappy 1-0 wins, and that's what they managed to do there. So I can't complain too much about that one, but at the same time, chances we had, we should have got something out of the game. So I came back here against West Ham, looked to bounce back. I said to myself in game, I was thinking, right, forget about the Manchester United result. Yes, it was poor. Yes, we should have got something out of the game. But at the same time, we're here against West Ham. We can't do anything about that Manchester United result now. All we can do is try and get ourselves a win or even possibly a draw here at home against a very strong West Ham side. I have to say, West Ham do have a very good side. But again, pretty much exactly the same team that we just played against Manchester United. I didn't see a reason to make a change. I saw a very good side against Manchester United. I just saw the fact that we didn't get the look that we needed. So I thought, I'm not going to change it. I'm going to keep it exactly the same, play the same tactics, play everything the same, and just hope that we have a similar performance here at home against West Ham. If we can do that, and we have the look on the day, we should pick up the full 3 points here. But like I said, West Ham have such a good side, as Sam Byron played Leeds for the first time since his move to West Ham. Obviously, formerly of Leeds United, he'd moved to West Ham in real life, and he played against us today. And I was not looking forward, I have to say, to that one. But, it's one of those things. Every time Leeds United play against a team, they seem to be playing against a former player recently. And it's just one of those things. Leeds became a selling club, meaning that every time they come up against a new team, well, it's very, very unlikely that you don't come up against a team that have an ex-Leeds player, put it that way. So, 16 minutes into the game now, we had our first chance. Felipe Augusto, lovely, lovely play from him. Takes a strike on, gets very unlucky at the fact he takes a deflection, but the deflection almost took it into the back of the net. As we get ourselves a corner here, 17 minutes in, whip the corner in. Kalash wins the header, but unfortunately it's cleared away as it comes back to Joel Green. Joel Green with the cross back in, and Kalash should have made it Leeds United 1, West Ham United 0. 19 minutes in, heads his effort wide of the post, literally from the 6-yard box. Should have made us 1-0 there, in all honesty, and I couldn't quite believe he'd headed that one wide. As 30 minutes into the game, we get ourselves a free kick. Bit of a lucky one there, as Kamaru sort of didn't have the strength to hold on to the ball, but again, I'll take everything we can if we can get a bit of luck. Great. Pablo Hernandez's effort, though, is well saved in the end by Adrian in the West Ham goal. Very nice save by the West Ham United goalkeeper. I think it was Adrian. I don't know if it's Dave actually. Yeah, it's still Adrian. There you go. So Adrian with the save from Pablo Hernandez's free kick. It was a good free kick, by all honesty, by Pablo Hernandez. It was on target, had a lot of power behind it, and Adrian had to make the save. So Very good save in the end from the West Ham goalkeeper. Keeps the score at 0-0. As we got the corner here, whip the corner in with Joe Green. 32 minutes into this one. The header is one, I do believe. Adrian, catches the ball at the back post. Eventually, it was poor from me. Should have been, it should have been a goal for us here. As Kamaru gets into a very good position, has the effort, and it's dragged just wide of the post. I was so hoping that one was going to drop in that bottom corner. 59 minutes in. We almost had the lead there, but 7 minutes in, and West Ham should have made it 1-0 in all honesty as their header. Very well saved initially by Lafont. What a good save that is by our young goalkeeper in net. But 78 minutes in, West Ham came at me like a truck, and I couldn't get the ball out of my own half as they hit the bar there from the header, from that cross, and that is all she wrote for the game. So we ended up with that one 0-0 yet again. We could have lost the game in the last few minutes, as you see there, with the 2 chances that West Ham had in the game. But again, I firmly believe that we were the better side in that one and deserved to come out with something more of the game. I'm happy to get a point there against West Ham, but I would have preferred it if we'd have got the win, if possible, in that game. But we actually only managed a point in the end. So a point is a point at the end of the day. Like I said, I'll be happy with it. And at the end of the day, we've got a point, which is all that matters. It means that we're now trying to get ourselves up into the higher places in the Premier League, which you can't see the table there because there's 2 games to come for Wales currently. And unfortunately, guys, like I said, if you did want me to sign any players, the transfer window is pretty much closed now. So it means that we'll have to wait till January. I have seen your comments, but like I said, I record a number of these episodes in one go, edit them all out, and then get them all out done basically throughout the week because I don't have the luxury like other YouTubers do of being able to play the games then and there on the days. They obviously uploaded the videos. I don't have that luxury to be able to do that. So unfortunately, if you guys recommend a player to sign, I will either have to do it in a later episode or it'll take me to the next transfer window that I have in the game. So I have seen your comments of the players that you want me to sign in them, so don't think I haven't seen them. And I will be trying my hardest to sign them in January, but unfortunately the transfer window is now closed, which means I won't be able to sign them now in the next few episodes. It will be in the January transfer window, so I do genuinely apologise for that. But like I said, there's nothing I can do about it. It just means that I have to do it that way because of the fact that we do actually play it that way, in all honesty, and that's the only thing I can do about it. But anyways, regardless of that, we came into this game here against Tottenham Hotspur in the end, and these are one of my bogey teams. Obviously, being an Arsenal fan, it would have been nice to pick up a full 3 points here against Spurs at White Hart Lane, off the back of that 0-0 draw against West Ham. So we haven't looked brilliant in front of goal in terms of this episode. We've hit the post twice in the one game against Manchester United. We didn't look great against West Ham either in front of goal. But as you can see, Spurs were sat 1 place above me, so they were yet to win a game either. So I look at that and I'm thinking, you know what? If Spurs are with us at the moment, we haven't had that bad a start to the season. Or Spurs have had a really poor start and we're just stuck with them. So I guess you could say it that way as well. But the fact that Spurs were down there with me made me a slightly confident man going into this one. I was thinking, you know what? Spurs are in exactly the same boat as us. They need a win. We need a win. There's a possibility we can get something out of this game. And I'm not talking a point. I'm talking the full 3 points. But you're going to see coming up here, this game was not going to be easy for us. Spurs have a very good side. And obviously, they were a side that were chasing the title last season. So there's no reason why they can't get themselves out of this in as well. 11 minutes in, get a lot of luck there in the fact that the ball wasn't put into my net as we went on the counter-attack. Straight away after that, Chris Wood sending down Costinha, who actually played ahead of Kamaru today. And Costinha really should have made it 1-0 here. You're going to see 14 minutes into the game, gets into an extremely good position. I was very surprised at the fact that we managed to get that far into the Spurs half and then have the run on the goalkeeper like we did there. But somehow Costinha missed the target completely as he sent down De Siglio in the left-hand side, 26 minutes in. Give it inside to Joel Green. I'm thinking, please, Joel, should have been 1-0, 27 minutes into the game. But he sent his strike straight at the goalkeeper pretty much. And 38 minutes into it now, Eriksson brought down for a Spurs free kick. I tried to give them it, but in the end, yep, that happened. And I was so gutted when this happened. In the end, it's McCarthy, I think. They've obviously bought him from Everton, but I tried to give them the free kick there. That's what I was aiming to do, but they played the ball through the defence, and all kudos to them in terms of Spurs, because it made them 1-0 up in the game. And after we'd had so many good chances, and I said to you guys, we're going to miss chances this season, we're going to struggle in front of goal, and we need to take our chances. Joe Green, yet again, lovely play from us to get ourselves into position, but again, a good save from the Tottenham goalkeeper, kept the score at 1-0. I think it was actually Michel Vorm in goal for Spurs today. Costinha gets the ball down the left-hand side, keeps it in play, gives it into Ronaldo Vieira eventually after, I think it was De Siglio gave it actually. Tried to give it to Anita, and I ended up not being able to do that. And I'm going to show you the match facts here at half-time, just to show you how much dominance we have had on the game. Spurs having one shot in the first half, and they've scored it, which again, I'm getting so frustrated at the fact we can't score our own chances, but then we miss our chances, and then we concede one sloppy goal, which loses the points possible. So 67 minutes into it, though, Ronaldo Vieira trying to get something for us out of the game. Gets very unlucky initially with the first shot as it's blocked. The second one is then blocked again by the Spurs defender as we try to put pressure on Spurs here in the 70th minute. Cross the ball into a dangerous area. Pablo Hernandez doesn't win the head. It comes back to Joel Green. Who's going to have a second bite at the cherry. But again, for some reason, the game screwed me over by not letting me take the touch with Joel Green. So we get the throw in the end. We throw it into Costinha. Costinha goes back here to Ronaldo Vieira. Or tried to anyway before it was blocked. It comes to Pablo Hernandez eventually, who's going to try and feed in Chris Wood, I think. Or it might have been Vernonita. Goes down. I tried to get myself a free kick. I got the free kick, which is very, very, very thankful for. And I'm thinking at this point, please, just try and put this ball in the back of the net. I need this point. I need to try and get something out of the game. We've been poor in front of goal. We deserve something better, but my finishing has let me down. And there, yet again, the free kick smashing straight into the wall shows that we've been poor today. In the 90th minute, Spurs really should have made it 2-0 as Janssen gets into a good area, gives the ball off to Eriksson, and Eriksson's strike goes wide of the post. But they didn't care because they picked up a 1-0 scrappy win against us yet again. So for the second time in the episode, a side that hasn't deserved to beat us have. Manchester United did it earlier on, and Spurs did it there. So both games, we were made to miss, or we were made to root our missed chances in the games, and we deserved to get something more out of the game. We didn't manage it, and both times we've been unfortunate in both of them. But again, my missed opportunities have cost us, so I'm going to have to try and sign a striker in January. There's no two ways about it. I need to start putting some goals at the back of the net, and hopefully we'll be good until January, and if we can try and get as many points as possible, great. But I'm not looking too confident, guys, in all honesty. But thank you all so much for watching this episode of Career Mode. I'm a bit ill again, so I will, try my best to sort of do this commentary, but apologies if I cough anyway during the episode. Other than that, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'm out. Adios!